It is sweet, but I don't know why I would click sweet.
Okay.
Like, should there be a sour button? Like,
Hey, welcome back for another episode in this series where we're going to be building an app that generates a passive income. In the previous episodes, we started to come up with an idea and then we built a prototype on that idea. In this episode, we're going to actually start building the first mocks from what we learned from the prototype and actually starting to get user feedback on those mocks. Now, from the prototype, we're able to get some idea of what functionality can go into the initial app. So I'm going to build this flow out in a way that makes sense to me, and then I'm going to have a user test on the flow and start building in feedback into the design. This is going to be a very iterative process, so that's why we're doing this basically with sketch mockups and not with like code. It's just going to get us feedback much quicker than any other way we can do it. So we're going to be using Sketch to do our prototypes. Sketch is a powerful tool that's used a lot in our industry for design. And I haven't used it too much, but I've worked with a lot of designers that have used it. So one thing that's really cool is Sketch has a lot of UI kits that people have already put up for free or some are paid. And they have all these UI components that you can just pull out and assemble your own mock flow from those set of components. So it's a lot like building something with Legos. We're going to be assembling together a UI that makes sense for us from a bunch of pre-made components. I will probably be modifying these and making my own components at times, but it gives us a great starting point and will allow us to iterate a lot faster. So this is one of the wireframing kits that we'll be using. It's called Form by Envision, and this gives us a lot of basic components in a pretty minimalistic style, so it's going to make it easy for us to modify and add our own components without getting too caught up in the details of how it looks. If I just zoom out, you can see how many different layouts they have here, a ton of UI components. So I'm going to skip ahead now a bit so you can just see some of the process of me building this mock. So you might have noticed this room looks completely different now. So had to change my desk over and moved some new equipment in here. Got a new computer in here and a microphone, which I still haven't quite set up yet. So there's going to be better quality audio coming up in the next videos, I think. So I've been working on these mocks and I think I've got something now that's demoable. There's been a lot of tinkering and adjustments and checking different examples of existing apps to see what their flows were like. But it's interesting just how going through these flows, it's such an iterative process because as I was developing them, I completely changed the flow 3 times at least. So it's just the creative process and we're just constantly feeding back what we're learning and what we're experiencing into the output. So I've got all the prototypes wired up now and I'm ready to start actually testing users going through this flow. So I'm here with my friend Parker, and he agreed to run through the demo with me of the prototype. So I wrote down some goals here. of what I want you to do. So the first one is to select the best stop on the way to Medellin, and then I would like you to add a return flight to your trip, and finally to book all the flights.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, as you land on the page, what is your first impression?
So, let me see. Best stops on your way and save money. Okay, so it's already got my from. I need to put in a to and a date.
Yes.
I guess one of my first thoughts is I often don't actually have the date in mind, but this is a pretty common pattern. I'm used to it. I would come back to this screen a lot and just try different dates.
Okay. Maybe at any time or something like that would be good.
Yeah, kind of like Southwest has a low fare calendar. It's a really interesting way to try to figure out where you're going, where you know where you want to go, but not when. And you can find, this weekend it's half the price of going.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
This other time.
Okay, so autocomplete anywhere potentially is an option, but yeah, as you would type.
Okay, so we got autocomplete, nice. Oh, hey, that's cool looking. Okay, so the cheapest would be through Florida, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the way that's displayed like that. Because even though this is cheapest, I might be more interested in stopping by Mexico.
Yes, exactly.
And for $50, maybe it's worth it.
Yeah.
But I think for this exercise, probably cheapest is what you were going for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got a flight. So it looks like maybe I've selected a flight from Salt Lake to Florida, but then it's still undecided. Because it's grayed out.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think it's showing here?
So, well, I'm tempted to keep using the interface over here. The sidebar feels secondary, like detail view. So like I would go over there if I was curious about the times or the names of the flights or anything like that. But as far as booking,
okay,
my next guess would be to click here to book this leg of the flight.
Okay, that's interesting because I had thought that actually that you wouldn't even interact with these elements. You would just use this to select the flights for Tampa. But because you said that, I'm actually thinking now I could make it so this goes away kind of and just focuses your attention here.
Maybe as I hover here, it could very obviously gray out the ones that I'm not selecting. So it'd be very obvious that hovering here correlates to this.
Oh, I like that.
Okay. These very much, I want to click on them.
Yeah.
To see details about the flights, but I'll pick one of these.
Okay.
Nice. So this looks like a button, but I don't know why I would click on it.
Fair enough.
Just because there's nothing like. I know that the next thing that I was supposed to do was book the return. So again, I want to click here. So just through elimination, I'm guessing that this is the final one, but this does not look like a final button. It is sweet, but I don't know why I would click sweet.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
Like, should there be a sour button? Like,
okay.
Cool. We booked that. I noticed the shape of the line changed. Okay. So here we go. Here's where you can add additional stopovers.
Yeah, and so once you, I didn't add that yet, but what that would take you to would be a screen like we were just on. It would just recalculate the trip from there.
I'm a little unsure here. Again, this book all. It surprises me that's not like a big green color or something like that. Yeah. Click on it. Oh, okay. So it's destination, so I gotta remind it where I'm gonna go. And these cards, we got 2 destinations, Salt Lake City, and we got this view again. And as usual, don't know for sure what you'd want to do about that, but I know I am definitely tempted to click out here. Yeah. Because these feel really clickable.
Yeah.
and I want them to be clickable.
Okay.
So I'm not going to choose any of these. Standard flight, no stopover. Click on it. So I got 3 flights now. Flows through there. I see the price for each. And then continue to booking. And then I have to book each individually. Right?
Yes.
Is there any way to book all of them at once? Or is that just kind of a limitation?
I think that's going to be a limitation because I think I have to open a new tab for each one. So, yeah. Cool, but you did make it all the way through.
I did. Nice. I did, and I want more.
Yes.
It's really cool.
That's awesome. Cool. All right, well, thanks so much for the feedback. If you have any other thoughts, let me know.
No, that's it.
Cool.
Thanks for showing this to me.
All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right. So I think with that feedback, we really have a good idea of what we can do to improve this app. I'm going to start with addressing each point I can from the feedback. But really what I'm going to be focusing on, besides just the ideas and suggestions and things like that, is just watching where in the test the user was confused or blocked and not able to continue with the primary objective of what I wanted them to do. So I'm going to be really focusing in on making it as seamless as possible, and then I'll hopefully be able to incorporate some of the suggestions and just improvements that would make the design easier to use. So I'll be building that out in the next video, and I'll be going through another round of this user testing. So iterate more, get more feedback, iterate more, get more feedback, until I have something that I'm really happy with, and then I'm going to go all in on that and build that version of the app and get users testing it. And now I just want to talk about something that's going on right now in the world, which is this coronavirus thing. So yeah, unless you've been living under a rock, in which case you probably are safe because you're completely isolated. You know that the world's in a pandemic now with coronavirus, and it's affecting everyone, including me. I'm actually staying home for the most part and not going to work, just working online and doing my videos and working on my projects. So this is an interesting time to be living in, but now's a good time if you guys have something that you want to work on, or a project or a hobby or something like that, to take it up and start use the extra free time for something positive and constructive, and try to turn off the news because it's not going to do too much good. It's just better to focus on what you can do productively. The other thing I want to mention is just like what effect is this going to have on the app? So this is a travel app, which means we're kind of screwed, right? Like nobody's going to book a flight anymore. No, I think this is going to die down, and I think in a few months things will be back to at least somewhat normal. And I think over the next year, I'm pretty sure things will get completely back to normal. So I think we're gonna make it through this. Whatever happens, things will return back to normal, and people will eventually start traveling again. So I'm not worried about this from a long-term perspective, and I'm confident in what I'm building here, and that it's going to be something that's going to be useful. So I'm just going to keep working at my project and building this out. So that's all for this video, and if you guys are liking this, let me know, and just keep commenting about what you want to see in more videos. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.